Hi, everybody, and welcome to the BC Football Signing Day Show. It's great to have you with us. I'm Jon Meterparel, joined by Bill O'Brien. Bill, good to see you.
Great
How
to
are
see
things?
you, Meter. Everything's good. Yeah, today's a good day. Signing day is always a very exciting time. It's the beginning of a new chapter, and we've quickly turned the page on 2025 and moved on to 26 here. And this class is a great representation of Boston College.
Yeah, it's very encouraging based on what we've heard, what we've read.
Yeah.
Just summarize how you feel about the class of, 23 players now officially?
Yeah, 23 guys. You know, look, we went out and we really worked hard. The assistant coaches did a great job of trying to find guys that were great fits for Boston College, not only obviously on the football field, but off the field, in the classroom, in the community. And we believe we've done that. Now, these guys have to come here and do it, like I always tell you, and you know they have to do it. But I believe we're on the right track with this group. You know, the 25 class, I think, did a lot of great things this year on the field and off the field. And now this 26 class, I think, will be our second recruiting class. And, you know, we're proud of this class.
Offensively, where are you pointing towards where some supplemental players were added?
Look, we did a good job with the quarterback position. We were able to add two quarterbacks, and Femi and Anthony, and you know, we believe those guys had great high school careers. They're both athletic. They can run. They come from awesome families. Both guys chose us over some really stiff competition, which says a lot about Boston College and, you know, kind of where we're headed. We're excited to get them in here, and they're eager to get here. They're eager guys. They're hungry. They want to learn, and they can't wait to get here, and they'll start up here in January.
We saw freshmen play this year a little bit, Shaker Rising. When a freshman quarterback comes to your program, what do you expect and what do you hope for?
I think it's a good question. You know, I think one of the things we look for right away is, look, is this guy going to be a guy that treats the quarterback position like if he's taken 4 classes, does he treat it like a 5th class? Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, nothing against, you know, the left guard position, which is very important, but quarterback's a totally different position, and you have to dive in and immerse yourself in studying not only the playbook but the film, and then obviously working out on the field to learn how we do things, from running game, passing game, all the different, you know, styles that we use in our or techniques that we use in our offense that is different than what you did in high school. So we believe we have 2 guys here that'll jump in and be ready to go from day one.
Is there a diversity to both of their games? Can they run? Can they throw it well?
Yeah, Femi can really do both. He can run. He's really got really good speed, and obviously he's got a big arm. He's got a strong arm. He can make all the throws. He's got great leadership qualities. Comes from an awesome family down there in the Nashville area, and just it was a joy to recruit him. We've been recruiting Femi for 2 years.
Wow.
And Femi was recruited by a lot of people, and we're proud of the fact that we were able to, you know, to have Femi as a part of our family here at Boston College. Anthony was kind of happened late.
Yeah.
Anthony was recommended to me because we hadn't gone into Indiana a whole lot, and he's from Carmel, Indiana. And he was recommended to me by a great former player here, Dwan Daniels, who I worked with at the New England Patriots. And, you know, Dwan said, hey, man, I got a guy you need to check out here, a quarterback that I think you're going to like. And I flipped the film on, and I saw one of the most competitive guys I'd seen in the 2 years I've been doing this here. You know,
No kidding.
He runs, he's tough, he competes, he's got a good arm, he can make all the throws. He was very well coached in high school. He comes from a program where the coach's name is Kevin Wright, used to be the coach at IMG, was a professional coach, like knows what he's doing in football, and has really meant a lot to Anthony, and Anthony's going to be another guy comes from a great family. I gotta tell Acacia, Anthony's younger sister, is an unbelievable lacrosse player, I think 14 years old.
Excellent.
So she's an up-and-coming great lacrosse player. And then he's got a brother who's a sophomore who's a really good football player too. So it's a great family, and we're excited to have both these guys, Femi and Anthony.
You mentioned Dwan Daniels, the BC football program. The Brotherhood is one of the strongest in the nation. You bring in Kenyatta Watson this week as your football GM. What does that mean for the program?
It's big. It's big. I give Blake James a lot of credit. You know, at the end of this season, we met a lot. You know, Blake and I have met a lot, and nobody is more disappointed in the season than I am, you know, and so we have to do things to improve the program. And one of the things that we needed to do was to, you know, do a great job of upgrading how we acquire talent. And Kenyatta has an unbelievable track record. He played here in the early 90s, was a wide receiver here. He came highly recommended to me by several people that I really trust and that played here, and some guys that didn't play here. And he's come to us from Auburn, so he has experience in the ACC. He was at Georgia Tech. He has experience in the SEC. He's got, a lot of people say he has experience in the Southeast, which he does, from Atlanta and Florida and, Alabama, the places that he's been, Auburn, Alabama. But, he has experience all over the country. And he's going to come in here with a great energy and a great vibe and a belief in Boston College. He knows Boston College. He played here. He went here, and he believes in the mission of BC. And I think it's a huge deal for us.
Yeah, it's also important. When I love what he said. He says, "I'm coming home." I feel like this is, it is so strong. I've had ties here for 30 years.
Yep.
And I want to bring this program back or help bring them back.
Yeah, no doubt. And he'll be a big part of that. He's going to bring a couple people with him. I believe his wife went to school here too. So, he is coming home, and we're excited to get him.
Up front, you bring in a kid from Boston that certainly was hotly recruited.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Marcelino Antunes.
Yeah, we call him Big Mark, and he's awesome. And credit to Catholic Memorial. As you know, we have a great connection with Catholic Memorial with Coach DiBiaso. John on our staff, and then his dad is the legendary coach at CM, and his dad helped us out a lot because this guy was heavily recruited, and he could have gone anywhere. And we're excited to have him. He's 6'7", 300 pounds. He's in great shape. He works very hard. He had a dominant year. He dominated Massachusetts high school football this year as an offensive tackle, and just a great guy. Comes from an awesome family. They care about education. They understand the importance of football, but they understand the importance of the combination of both. And we feel like he's got a great future for us.
Is there a Bill O'Brien prototype for an offensive lineman? Does he fit that mold?
Tough. Let's make sure they're tough, right? And that they can go all day. Right, guys that understand that we got to get back to what that is. This class that we've brought in with Antunes and Rooks-Nitis and Merrick Ginn, those guys, that they're going to bring this class back to this position back to what it is, O-line U.
You mentioned Ginn. He looks like an intriguing prospect. Phillips Exeter, Washington, D.C., ACC schools are in on him.
Yep.
What do you think he'll bring?
Yeah, highly recruited guy. Another guy up at Exeter where we have a great connection with that program, with the coaches up there, and they did a great job for us. They helped us out a lot. And Merrick's dad played at Brown. He's a little bit older than me, but Sam Ginn, we played together at Brown, and so there was a great connection there. Merrick's family is one that definitely believes in the combination of education and football. Merrick played a lot of defensive line in high school, so he was like a nose guard and a defensive tackle. A very versatile player and a very tough player, and was a wrestler. Yeah, like a lot of good things there.
Skill players, a running back from Georgia, Cedric Addison.
Yeah.
What do you look at in terms of skill for this class?
Look, Cedric was a really good player in great high school football down in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, and that brand of football down there, high school wise, when you can get a top running back from down there, that's a big deal. And so we're excited to get him. We've been recruiting him for a long time. Another guy that comes from a great family, great mom. They've been up here a few times. And that's the one thing about this class. All of these guys, most of these guys, with the exception of probably Colner, who we came on to late, they've been on campus multiple times. And so I think that's a key for us is in fact, Reggie Terry and I were just talking about that this morning. Getting these guys on campus multiple times, 3, 4, 5, 6 times is big, and a lot of these guys were on campus that much. Yeah,
you've talked about that a lot, the importance of getting here and learning what it is to be on the BC campus, learning the sense of community. You think you're building that?
Yeah, I do. I think that, we've done a good job of of making sure that one of the tenets of our recruiting process to get these guys on campus, to show them the campus. We're 10 minutes from one of the greatest cities in the world, downtown Boston. You get right on Com Ave and you're going straight to Fenway Park. It's just an unbelievable location. And then on top of that is obviously a top-notch education. And so you have so much to offer. Plus, I think parents really enjoy the meaning of a Jesuit education. They really understand that this is a place that's going to develop the whole person, because our guys are busy, right? They're doing a lot in the community. They're not just football players. They're really good students, and they give back. They're working at the campus school. They're working at Rosie's place. They're working all over the city to give back. And I think a lot of these parents saw that in recruiting and really liked that.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Yep.
Receivers, we saw some receivers make an impact this year. Young players, will that continue next year, you think?
Yeah, look, I think the receiver room is strong. Looking at Reed Harris coming back, Jaden Skeet coming back from injury, Dawson Pugh. There's some guys there that can really play, and then there's some young guys that haven't played a whole lot yet, like Ced Lott, guys like that. And then you got some guys coming in this class. So we're excited about that position, and we got to continue to coach it and get it to where we need it to be, and continue to improve the quarterback position, get the quarterback playing at a high level. But we feel good, about the receiver position.
Defensively, have you replenished the defense with this class?
In many ways, yeah. We did a really good job with the defensive line. To be able to get the guys that we got. Cameron McGee was huge. We got him at the end. Kenyatta Watson helped us with that. We were able to get Gavin Neal, which was big get for us. Jackson Carlisle from down there in Tuscaloosa. Those guys, we feel really good about. Steve Klein, the linebacker, feel really good. Really concentrated on trying to get the front, better, and I think we did that with this class.
McGee was an Alabama target amongst other SEC schools. How'd you get him?
Yeah, he was committed to Arkansas. I think that, Kenyatta, as we started talking, Kenyatta said, hey, you may want to look at this guy, Grayson High School outside of Atlanta. And, we were recruiting him at Auburn, and, he went to Arkansas. Then there was a coaching change at Arkansas, so he kind of floated away from them and really was looking for a home. He's got an awesome mom. His mom's a doctor. They came up on a visit a couple weeks ago, loved what they saw, and we were able to seal the deal today. So we're really excited about Cam McGee.
Steve Klein is a guy you mentioned, terrific athlete, linebacker from Westwood, New Jersey, prolific high school career. What do you have to do to come in and play a lot of reps at linebacker for BC?
Just so you know, too, he's a great baseball player.
I saw that in the bio.
Yeah, he hits bombs.
You love those baseball
Love
players.
those guys. You know that. But Klein is a guy we've been recruiting for a long time, you know, and it was a huge deal for us to get this guy out of New Jersey. Just an awesome kid, just great guy to talk to on the phone, great energy, just an enthusiastic guy that's going to come in here and compete right away. He's got good range. He can run. He's tough. He played offense. He played defense. He returned. He did everything for their team. And like I said, a multi-sport athlete and awesome family. Little brother's a hell of a basketball player, and great family. And they were up here multiple times, and just a real BC guy that we can't wait to coach here.
That's fantastic. You're looking for a lot of multi-sport players, right? You're not necessarily a guy that says football and nothing else.
Right. No, I think, you and I have talked about this a lot in the past. I mean, I think playing multiple sports is awesome. I mean, because each sport requires different conditioning levels, different movement skills, different ways of playing. In football, you huddle and you break the huddle and you go, and then sometimes huddle, but there's breaks in the action, right? In basketball, it's nonstop, right? Baseball, you're standing around a lot, right? So it's different, and different movement skills. I think different hand-eye coordination. I am big about multiple sports. I think linemen that wrestle, for instance, are, I think that's always good. I think that it helps hand strength and balance and all those things. So I'm big on multiple sports.
Steve Neal's the most famous example.
Oh man, Steve Neal's the best. Sunset flip. I mean, he's unbelievable, man. Steve Neal never played college football and has 3 Super Bowl rings and one of the best guys ever. So yeah, that's a good example right there.
Yeah, great New England Patriot.
Yeah.
Defensive backfield. Really impressed with guys you brought in the 2025 class. They had to play early.
Yeah.
What do you see from this class?
I like this class. I like the DBs. There's guys there that we feel good about. Safeties, corners, guys that are versatile, that can do both. Kind of like a couple Carter Davis type guys that can run and hit and tackle and are smart and have good ball skills, can intercept the pass. So I'm excited about that group of guys.
Also, Coach, big news this week with the financial commitment for BC and how it's going to increase. Blake James put out a press release. What does that mean for football?
Yeah, no, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that. I appreciate that release that Blake put out, that statement that Blake put out. I mean, look, we're in it, right? This is what it is. College football has changed. Sure. It has changed. And, players are compensated now, and that's just the way it is. And we have to do a good job of managing that. We have to do a great job of bringing in the right guys. Our philosophy cannot change when it comes to who we are at BC. At Boston College, we want, we're a man for others, and that's who we are. And we're going to bring in guys that fit that. And but at the same time, and if we want to compete at the highest level, which we do, we need to understand that this is the lane that we're in now, and we'll do a good job with Kenyatta, myself, Reggie, Terry. We use Doug Phillips a lot, Accelerate Sports. He does a great job for us, and then obviously Blake and Craig Anderson over in administration. So we're excited about where we're headed.
Do you find yourself in a little different recruiting situation with parents asking about that more?
Yeah, it's funny, Meter. I think it's important to know that parents are involved, but some of these guys have agents, so that's one of the things that you gotta deal with too. And I try to educate these guys on agents. We're going to bring in different top agents to talk to our team about what it means to pick an agent and how you go about that process. But yeah, parents are involved. Parents are always involved, especially in the recruiting process. They want what's best for their son. They want their son to be treated fairly, and we try to do that. We try to treat everybody as fairly as possible.
Oh, you're doing a great job. Overall, your final thoughts on this class and looking ahead to 2026. You got the portal coming up January 2nd to January 16th, so a lot of busy times for you.
Yeah, a lot of work to do. We got a lot of player meetings going on right now, exit meetings, meaning end of the year type meetings that are going pretty well. This team will be different next year, right? I think that's another thing about college football that you're going to see over the years is every year it's going to be kind of like the NFL because the portal's like free agency and high school recruiting is like the draft. So every year will be a little bit different. And so the 26 team obviously will be a lot different than the 25 team. And we feel good about where we're headed. Winter conditioning starts when they come back from Christmas break, and then we head into spring practice, and it'll we're back on that treadmill again. And I'm excited about it. I love the kids that I coach. I'm very happy about where we're headed as a program, and now we gotta get better and go do it.
We're all excited, Coach. A pleasure.
Thanks, Meter.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
He's Bill O'Brien. That wraps up our BC football recruiting special. Thanks for watching, everybody.